Hello, everybody. I'm one of your hosts, Scott, coming to you from Toronto.
And I'm Andy, the other host, coming to you from the United Kingdom still.
And this is the T and Timbits podcast, Global Perspectives on Business Development to help you prosper. We are in the month of December. I was going to say the freezing cold month of December, but I suppose that just depends on where you are. My backyard rink is just about ready for use, but that's a different podcast. So we're going to get into tools. We're going to talk about using your CRM and the value of having a good CRM in your ecosystem, a topic we've covered before, but it is so worthwhile repeating. I'm sure there's going to be some new themes and ideas today. So we'll get into that in a second. Andy, what's been going on in your world lately? Care to share a story?
I do, yes. So I recently had the opportunity to sign a new contract, and when I was going through the process of signing that contract, I was presented with lots of documents and terms and conditions and all of this stuff. But the contract document referred to a lot of other documents as well that were not included. And it also referred to the fact that those documents could be changed at any time in the future, and that any changes made to those would supersede anything that you'd signed or agreed today. So, of course, I go back and say, well, can I have access to these documents, and can I have it locked in and written and agreed that any changes to those terms and conditions would not affect my contract? And it seems that I was the first person ever in the history of this company to ever actually ask for this data, because nobody knew where it was. So it's a short story, but if you are running a company and you are sending out contracts to people, be it, business partners, employees, customers, whatever, make sure that you have all of the documents that you're referring to in your contract, because there will be some people who are really annoying like me who will actually read the contract and will pick up on those things and may put you in a sticky situation where you're trying to run around and find documents that you've never looked at for years.
I wonder if we got to sign the same document recently, because the exact same thing happened to me a couple of months ago, and the exact same situation transpired. And they were like, "Oh, no one's ever asked us for that before."
Yeah.
And then the answer was, in this case, "Oh, those are just links on our website. You can just go read them on our website." I'm like, "No, I think you're missing the point.
No.
I'm not agreeing to something that you can change arbitrarily and not notify me, and it becomes an obligation that then I am now bound to. You could make that thing tell me that anything you want, and I'm signing a contract here to agree to that. No, thank you very much." And then they seemed a little bit put out by the fact that this was something that I didn't quite appreciate, and that I was asking of them.
I know. Imagine that we are, diligent professional business people who actually read contracts before signing them. It's incredible.
It's really funny that
I think the problem is that the culture has become so much that you get presented with terms and conditions for a lot of things online, and people are just like, yeah, I'll accept that because I want to use the service that you're presenting to me, or I want to use my new iPhone or things like that. And so people don't read the agreements, and they don't negotiate the agreements. And so, in a business setting, that can sometimes be very, very detrimental. Not recommended.
I mean, I am one to just whip to the bottom of those terms and conditions on online things and whatnot, but I get the general understanding is that I'm agreeing that they're going to get to use all my data for anything they please, and I get no right to it. And if I want to use the thing, I get to go and use the thing. But when you're in a business contract situation, and you're going to read the fine print, you're gonna make sure. Oh, and then there was one document that linked to another document in my case.
Yes, that's right. That's right. So yes, you are correct. So one of the documents I did receive, and that document just simply referred to a load of other policy documents that also were not included. Yes, I think we signed the same document.
It was ridiculous. Anyway, do you want to talk about CRMs?
CRM, let's do it.
So are you going to get to use a CRM in your new engagement here?
I will almost certainly be using a CRM. I have, for my own business, of course, I have CRM, very basic, that I use just to keep track of things. But typically, because of the types of work that I do, I'm going into lots of different companies and doing lots of different things. I use a lot of different CRM tools. And I think the biggest mistake that most companies make is that they believe that it's the tool that makes a difference in
Yep.
whether or not it actually delivers, and that is a big mistake, because I've seen people using Salesforce, Dynamics, and all of the other ones really badly. But
Yep.
I've also seen people using them really well, and that's the difference. If you structure it in the right way and you tailor it for your business and the way that you're working and the things that you're looking to get out of it,
Yep.
then it makes a big difference. But it doesn't matter what the tool is, so long as it's basically capable of delivering what you need in your business.
Absolutely. Bingo, bango, right on. I get this question a lot, like, oh, well, what's the best CRM and which one should I use? And it's kind of like when we're talking about AI, it's like, no, there's no particular tool that's going to be better than the others. It's like you said, it's entirely based on your ecosystem and some of the other things that you need to integrate with. Or if you're using any of the market leaders, oh my God, like they're all the same. And yeah, to reiterate your point, it's not about the structure that the tool gives you. It's about the structure that you already have, and then the tool is how you keep track of that. Now, listen, a lot of people will start the structure problem with a tool exploration. And so I think that that's the wrong way to go about it. But if you arrive at the same endpoint, okay, fine. You know what I mean? As long as you are willing to appreciate the fact that you're doing a tool evaluation first and you're doing a tool selection first, and then that is not going to get you very far until you first go through the right kind of implementation process, and that has to not look at the features that and ask you a bunch of questions about how you want it set up. That has to ask you business focused questions about how your organization runs and what kind of data you need and what kind of cadence and structure and rhythms that you have to your business, and then say, oh, well, here's how the tool can support all of that.
Yeah, I think there's an important element there that you've touched on, but not explicitly said. And that is one of the issues that that a lot of companies have when it comes to successful CRM implementations, is that they're built for reporting and not for selling.
They're I think they're the tools are usually built to enable all of that, but
No, I mean
think
within a business.
times
Within a business, when they come to structure them, they structure them and they build them in a way that is going, oh, what does finance want out of this? What do the sales management want out of this? What do the top management want out of this? And then they govern the behavior of the sales team based on that, not focused on how do we grow our business? How do we make our sales team more efficient? How do we enable them to be more effective? Which is the exact thing that the tool should be. It should be a tool to assist the sales team. If they then want reports out of it, well, that's another thing entirely. The processes for the sales team should not be built around the reports that the management want to get out of the system.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, and we've helped with doing it the right way many times, and we've sort of had to make some compromises along the way as well. But you'll end up in a situation where there's other data points that are valuable sort of to the business that are less valuable to the individual who's needs to maintain the tool, and that should always be a phase 2 second priority. So we just added a checkbox in our system, for example, for renewals. We didn't really care, whether it was recurring revenue or net new, so long as we were hitting our numbers and growth targets and whatnot. And we could track sort of net new because we knew that it was a new logo. But then we weren't sure within our existing client base whether we were some of our like retainers really just roll over, and it's a quick sort of perfunctory, like, yeah, what's your budget for next year? Great. Okay, on we go. And then sometimes within our existing client base, there's a whole new project that gets scoped, and it's in addition to an existing baseline budget or retainer. And so we'll count the stuff that automatically rolls over as renewal, but anything else as growth. And so after running smoothly with the CRM for a while, we're like, it'd be really nice to have visibility into that distinction. The people, the account directors, they're not really, too interested in making sure that checkbox gets checked, but we have it there, and we just run a report at the end of every month, and and it's transparent, and it's shown to everybody that uses the tool. It's not just shown to, executives, leadership, and whatnot. And that's a chance to quickly clean up the data. Hey, I thought that was, oh yeah, what? So you put a little bit of data governance around it as well, and you'll end up getting a little bit more of the things that sort of the leadership or the business, quote unquote, would like to see as well, but as a second priority.
I think that's exactly the right approach, really, is that it is transparent for the whole business, and that it's used as a tool. It's used for keeping everyone on track, but it's also used for reporting in the right way. And it should be a tool that serves the whole business. You're completely right. And I think setting it up that way is very important. But on a day-to-day basis, is kind of the users of the system. It should add value to them. Help them to be more successful. It should be a sales enablement tool, not a sales administration burden.
Yeah. Okay. So on that front, as soon as you started saying that, I was like, well, the part of the reason that it becomes a chore and not a value add is because there are other systems, tools, structures that have already been adopted or put in place that solve a problem that the CRM, could solve or could consolidate. And so you've got tracking tools. You've got a project management, you've got a project management platform, document collaboration. You've got your email. You've got spreadsheets and whatnot. And probably because those things exist for other purposes. They existed before the CRM came along. The CRM is too cumbersome, so you don't want to go into it. So you invent sort of all these other auxiliary solutions. So my answer to that is, again, don't swim against the tide, right? So if you are the CRM champion or implementation person or whatever, if you have a role for sort of advocating for adoption of the CRM and you see that is happening, the answer is not shake your fist, wag your finger and say, you're doing the wrong thing. Stop doing that. Do it in the CRM. Your job is to go, okay, why is that being used? If that's the most efficient, best way to do it, how do I set up the right integration to get that data into the CRM if that's what I need?
Completely right. Yeah.
And a lot of people overlook that one. So the CRM should be, if effective, the hub, so that it's a source of truth, so that it can consolidate all the information. So you're not having to then go, oh yeah, well that data is over here. And maybe they are in different systems, but you need to connect them. You need to make it easy to step out from the CRM records to the project folder or to the place that you all share team notes or something like that. Or you need to automatically sync it one way or the other, and allow for that other tool to do its job, and because it's the one that's used for some sort of reason. And maybe the reason is just a legacy reason and there's no good efficiency reason, but now you've got a habit that you need to change. And so the habit change is something that atomic habits, it's small incremental changes. It's stacking them on top of each other. It's moving them gradually into the CRM.
It's funny you mentioned the atomic habits there. It's something that's come up several times this week, and I just find that really funny. Just a small coincidence there. But you are spot on. One of the things that I found as well is to be quite a challenge is sometimes I've gone into organizations that have an in-house self-built CRM system. And it is usually the most complex, most complicated, most unuser-friendly system, and unavailable on mobile, only available online, only available when you're in the office on the computer, all of these sort of things. And then they complain that the sales team who are out on the road all the time are not filling it in and not using it properly. And nobody knows how it works except the finance director and the CEO.
It's a wonder, actually, sometimes. Yeah. So I do think people are still going to listen to us and be like, okay, great, it doesn't matter, but what tool should I use? So
Exactly.
I'll scratch the itch. What platform do you see or think has sort of bubbled to the top for whatever reason in the sort of the engagements that you get involved with?
Well, Salesforce is, of course, one of the most popular ones that I have been involved with, and Dynamics, HubSpot, HubSpot CRM. Monday.com has been growing as well in popularity. But for me, I have always found that Dynamics is actually the most beneficial one, regardless of the size of the business. I have found that has worked in sales teams of 4 or 5 people, and I've found it working in global organizations of 400 or 500. It's the one, obviously, that integrates the smoothest with the other Microsoft tools. But I personally have found when I've worked with the teams that it's the most straightforward to adjust and adapt and tailor to a business. It's one that works very well on mobile as well as laptops, iPads, and in the office. And it does. There's a lot of automated integration, which is very, very smooth with Dynamics, that I feel is more cumbersome with Salesforce and other platforms. I really like what HubSpot do. I think theirs is modern and fresh and straightforward, and it's really, really. It's a bit more marketing heavy, and a bit more focused on that. But you can do a lot through the HubSpot platform that you can't necessarily do with Dynamics. Dynamics feels a bit more corporate, whereas HubSpot feels a bit more, I don't know, young, ambitious business. You know what I mean?
I do.
But if I had to choose just one, I would go with Dynamics, just because of that flexibility and that consistency. Because every management team I've worked with has been happy with what they get from Dynamics, and every sales team I've worked with, even though it's very rare that a sales team actually likes a CRM system, Dynamics has been one that has been high on the list of positive feedback that I've had.
I mean, so as a practitioner and an implementation provider, I would have summarized it exactly the same way.
Oh, okay. That's really interesting.
Yeah. HubSpot is probably the default choice if you are more of a marketing focused organization, and your industry is a little bit more dynamic and I'll borrow your words. Sort of your brand is a bit more youthful and energetic. I think you're just going to gravitate towards and find the HubSpot ecosystem more appealing. If you already have a good, robust Microsoft infrastructure, there's no reason not to use Dynamics. And then Salesforce is one that integrates well with everybody else, but you kind of pay a premium for it. And so if you're not fully in the Microsoft ecosystem, or you want something that's purely standalone, and you want to also make sure that you're just not going to have to worry about the platform period, then Salesforce is a good rock solid option. I would say most of our client base is on Salesforce, with several on Dynamics and a couple on HubSpot. But we also work for sort of more of the corporate, less of the marketing heavy.
That makes sense.
That would be more likely to appeal to HubSpot. So There you go.
Just a very quick one before we come to an end there. I want to tie it into the last episode that we did about AI, because there's and I've not seen it, but I've read about that it's coming in, is that there's quite a big AI element available in the CRM side of things to help with, summarizing meetings and, guiding about where to take things next. Is that something that you've experienced, and what are your thoughts on safely using AI in CRM tools?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I don't think that anybody's gonna have a competitive advantage from just a straight up pure AI platform capability. I think they're all like, what's in the CRM platform itself is probably, like we said in our last episode, going to keep leapfrogging each other. The asterisk, the but, is in the Dynamics world, in the Microsoft world. Again, because they've got other technologies that you're going to be able to integrate with, and they've got other AI, like they've got Copilot Studio as a separate platform product that allows you to build your AI driven workflows and automations, and it can connect to Dynamics and like your CRM or your ERP or some of your other data sources and systems. You can build your own Power Automate stuff. So just because Microsoft has that sort of parallel ecosystem that you can easily connect to, that probably, at the moment, in my opinion anyway, gives them an edge over some of the stuff that's probably just baked in and more of a siloed capability in the other platforms.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. A good overview of the CRM ecosystem, and I wonder if much will change when we cover this topic again in 12 months and remind everybody about the value and the differences that don't exist between all the platforms. Maybe AI will have come along and solved it all for us by then. But definitely, if you do not have a CRM platform in your ecosystem, focus on the business first. Pick the tool that works well with your ecosystem, or one of the ones that seems to feel like it is the right fit for yours, for the posture and character of your organization. And I guarantee you it will help with productivity and organization. If you would like to know anything else about these things that we go on and on about, you can find us at tandtimbits.com. You can listen to our back episodes, lots of different ways to get in touch. And we look forward to hearing you, having you listen to us on the next episode. We'd love to hear from you too if you want to get in touch. Thanks, Andy.
Thank you, Scott.